Welcome researchers, today we have a look at bestiary actually. And this game, which is very heavily in development, so it's just starting up to get something. So don't mind the little footage we got, but again, I did a small Q&A with the dev. So my first question was actually, I wanted him to tell him something about what he does and what did he wanted to make the game. Like, how did he think of the name of the game and what's the main objective about it? So, he tried to get to the roots of monster taming and took a little bit of inspiration from medieval bestiaries. The whole idea of explorers traveling to unknown lands and telling tales of mysterious and wicked beasts of their subsequent mere productions in books really vibed with him. Then, the name of the game really was just a coincidence of this. The main objective of the game is to explore and tame as much beast as you can, eventually completing a book with notes on all. Of course, there is a story and side quests, but I want to make exploring the map and its secrets to be the main source of fun. I think that's a cool idea actually, because I have always liked exploring and doing that around. That's also why I liked Guild Wars 2 in the MMO sections more better than World of Warcraft is, because of the exploration. So that's really interesting. Then I actually wanted to know why he chose pixel art to make the game in. So when he started working on this project, the first thing he did was to draw a lot. Like most of his free time, and some of his non-free time during 2022, thanks to home office, he tried to get into 3D modeling, and even though he liked it, he found it really time consuming, and some people told him his designs were actually good. And so he bought a small drawing tablet and started translating them into pixel art. The whole process took like 6 months to learn by trial and error and a lot of research too. That is it with pixel art, of course. Pixel art isn't that easy, even though it looks pretty simplistic. It's a good thing to master around. At number 3 though, I wanted to tell him something about himself and why did he wanted to start making a game. So he's an engineer from Argentina. He works as a full-time job, and he tries to balance that with his projects of having a life, which sometimes ends up with him spacing out, thinking of the game during social events. That kind of sounds like myself, actually. The whole thing started when he was just drawing Fakimons during lockdown for the 4chan FP thread. And one of his friends saw his drawings and told him that he should actually make a whole dex. And a game, maybe. So his girlfriend actually is really supporting Persing and has encouraged him to keep it going on. And that's something I really adore, man. I'm really happy he got someone supportive behind him and working in for, come on, you can do it. Don't be down, just pull you up when you're just a little bit downwards. So that's cool. Then the last question I had was, what will the game look like? I mean, play-wise and such. So, well, as the game will be based around exploration, the player will be traveling different maps, different biomes. I like to use that word since games like Subnautica have inspired him for level design. Interacting with the maps as a staple of the genre, there will be field moves that may allow you to make your way to new areas. There will be a constant sense of danger through, since a world full with wild beasts can and will try to eat you. The game favors overworld events instead of random battles, so the idea of a giant predator chasing you, even in pixel art, should give players some chills. The game will scale as you progress and it will reward you for exploring, since secret items may give you an edge against some enemies. There will also be a quest with a tiny bit of faction interaction, but his idea is to make exposition and a story optional, so if anyone would like to piece it all together, they can without it being shoved at them at every corner. The combat though will be turn-based with interactively rewarding the players for paying attention and landing more powerful attacks when doing so. There will be ways to customize your partners and teach them attacks and traits. The players can also play a role in combat, but it's mostly supporting one. While battling a beast, if the tamer makes a lot of hits, it will attack the attention of the beasts and be in danger since the difference of power may prove fatal. That's why the trainer gets a threat bar instead of an MP bar, so they can tell the risks are there, are there. So this is quite interesting actually. It is really something different from what we have seen a lot before in monster taming games. And it just takes it all in perspective by reading, and I let it sink in actually while doing this. And it's really reminded me of the Metroidvania-like gameplay that Monster Sanctuary has, but then in a whole different and more explorational side actually. So I'm really curious how this is all gonna work out, and I hope you guys are as well. I only have a link towards his Instagram, since there is not a Discord and not a Twitter yet. When that will be implemented, I will put a link to that as well down in the description. So have a great look, mates. I hope you guys are doing good. Researcher out.